Go.
All right, gamers, do you know why businesses fail? I'll be back in 20 seconds to tell you why and to share with you what you can do to thrive for years to come. So stick around. Okay, welcome gamers to training day 32 of our first season together inside of the extraordinary game of entrepreneurship and how to play it. My name is Chris Olin White. I am the game master, and by now you know that my role in this game is to disrupt your thinking. Why do I want to disrupt your thinking? Because gamers, I want to empower you. I'm passionate about empowering you. I'm all in committed to empower you to live outside your phone booth so that you can share your extraordinary with the world. Now, what in the heck does living outside your phone booth have to do with anything? Well, just ask yourself the question. What would have happened had Superman never gotten out of the phone booth? Exactly. Nothing would have happened. And that's why, gamers, living outside your phone booth every day is priority number one. So, gamers, if you're ready, then I'm ready. Game on. All right, gamers, why does an online business fail to get into sustainable profit and really take off? There's only two reasons. But before I tell you what those two reasons are, let me tell you what those two reasons are not. Okay, if your business is failing, it's not the part of the country you live in. It's not your business partner. If your business is failing, it's not your age. I used to think that when I was in my 20s. I used to think, oh, I'm just not old enough. I'm just not smart enough. Nope. It's neither of those things. It's not because you're lacking in technology skills. I get that a lot on client calls all over the world when I'm coaching people. Oh, I'm just not good at technology. That is not why your business is failing. It's not because you don't have enough money. That's one of the biggest ones I get. Gamers, money is just an idea. Your business is not failing because you don't have enough money. It's not because you don't have enough time. That's a pretty easy excuse that people use to sabotage their dreams and building a big business that can give them the freedom they want. It's not because you don't have enough time, gamers. It's not because you think you're not smart enough or good enough like I used to think, okay? It's not that. It's not because you don't know how to generate leads or build websites. Nope, not that one either. It's not because of the government, you know? There's a lot of people complaining about the government on Facebook. I'll tell you right now, it's not because of the government. It's not anything outside you that you can't control. That's a good filter. If you're ever thinking to yourself, why is my business failing? And your answer is something that is outside of your control, you're wrong. Case in point, let me share a few keystone examples of companies who have grown through adversity that was outside their control. Take Google, for example. Google started after the dot-com crash. Take Facebook. Facebook actually grew during a global recession. Take my business. I launched my business when I had to put $5,000 on a credit card after a previous business failed and left me wondering where I would get the money to pay my rent with my wife still in school. Okay? So the first reason an online business will fail is because of you, the business owner. If your business is failing right now, if you're in a place in your business where you're struggling, you're frustrated, it's because of you. Now that should be encouraging because that means the answer is inside of you right now. Okay, now many of you know my story of being in the game of online entrepreneurship for the greater part of the past 2 decades. Okay, you know that I've had some big success stories and you know I've had a lot of big epic failures. I mean, gamers, some of the failures I've had have been epic. And maybe one of these days we'll do a show where I just talk about some of my epic failures and you can laugh right along with me. Okay. What I've come to realize after working with thousands of entrepreneurs all over the world is that if you can't develop the emotional intelligence to own both your successes and your failures, then you are stunting your growth and you're leading yourself down a path of certain failure. Okay, so how do you get out of your own way and protect yourself from yourself? This is one of the core, pivotal, keystone questions that you got to write down in your playbook, and you got to review this every day until it's in your subconscious. And you got to ask yourself, how do you get out of your own way to protect yourself from yourself? Here's the answer. You align with a great business coach. Okay, now let me tell you what to look for in a business coach to ensure you're setting yourself up for guaranteed success. Okay, the first thing you want to do, as Peter Sage has argued, and Peter Sage, by the way, if you don't know that name, Tony Robbins calls Peter Sage the greatest strategic mind in business. Okay, so Peter Sage points out you want to separate advice from opinion when you're looking to align with the business coach, right? Because everyone has an opinion. So what's the difference? Advice comes from people who have deep wisdom around what they are coaching you to do. Okay, deep wisdom is where knowledge and proven experience intersect, right? To take you on an adventure that guarantees success. So just ask yourself, would you trust an overweight personal trainer? Would you trust a skinny chef? Or would you trust a broke financial advisor? Of course not, right? So why would you be so careless with who you take business advice from? Well, here's my list of 5 things a business coach must have before I even consider working with them. I want to encourage you to put these into your playbook. Number 1, they must have a coach themselves. Why is that? Because this proves to me that they value their own personal growth. And when my coach is growing, they can take me with them on that journey of growth. Not to mention, if my coach is asking me to make an investment with them to be their coach, that's telling me that my coach thinks coaching is valuable. But if my coach doesn't have a coach, then something's off. Something is out of alignment there. So make sure your coach has a coach. Just ask your coach, hey, coach, do you have a coach? Tell me about that. What are you learning from your coach? Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, make sure your business coach has failed before. You don't want to get under the mentorship of somebody who hasn't failed. Make sure they failed. So you got to ask them, hey, what have your failures been? And make sure they've been able to learn deep lessons from their failure. So you got to ask them, hey, what lessons have you learned from that failure? Right? Make sure that they understand that failure can be your biggest capital. Most of your learning can come from failure, okay? That's number 2. Number 3, make sure your business coach understands online tactics. Okay? Now this one is easy to find. This one should be the easiest one you find out there because 97% of business coaches are going to focus on just tactics. Okay, so when I talk about tactics, I'm talking about sales, marketing, time management, lead generation would be a tactic, website development, landing page setup would be a tactic, email marketing, how to automate webinars. That's been one you're kind of seeing a lot lately. That's a tactic. How to create a podcast is a tactic, or even write an ebook. How to set up your YouTube channel, tactic, right? How to post on Facebook, okay? These are all tactics. And you must learn this stuff, okay? So it's important. But if you don't have the right mindset around how to really execute your tactics, guess what? You'll just spin your wheels in frustration and you'll ultimately fail. In fact, if you're struggling right now in your business, it's likely, gamers, that you're stuck in this tactical trap of thinking. And you're chasing the guru's next big product launch or live event that's just teaching you tactics. This is probably what's going on. This would be my guess if I were to get on the phone with you. This is what we would uncover. Okay, so operating from tactics alone, think about it like being dropped into the middle of a forest with no compass. Okay, you've got no direction. If all you got is tactics, you got no direction. Okay, that leads me to number 4. Great coaches are able to transcend tactical thinking to get to strategic thinking. Okay, a great tactician that lacks strategy, that's a perfect recipe for getting lost in the sea of competition. Are you lost in the sea of competition? Do you ever feel like, man, I'm just competing against everyone that's doing the same thing. If that's the case, then you're just someone who is a tactician. Okay? The starting point of great business strategy is learning to live in the question with everything you do. And a great business coach knows the right questions to ask. Okay, so always remember, you are only ever one idea away from a breakthrough that will forever change your life. And a great business coach knows the right questions to ask to pull that idea out of you to give you a strategic advantage. And that's what you're looking for. Okay, so here's a great strategic question to ask. Okay, this is a question to put in your playbook, right? Why should your customer do business with you versus your competition versus doing nothing at all? That's a strategic question. You got to ask that question. You got to have an answer to that question. Now, the challenge with strategy, and this is why 97% of people out there are just tacticians, is because strategy is not easy. The challenge with strategy is that it requires deep levels of thinking. And most online business owners just don't have the time, or they don't want to take the time to exercise deep thinking on a consistent basis. And that's precisely why most online business owners are struggling so much. Okay. Now, I've been blessed to be surrounded by great strategists my entire life, from when my best friend's dad was running a multi-million-dollar business in Omaha, Nebraska when I was in high school, to working with some of the greatest strategists during my time as an officer in the military, to working in a coaching program with the late and great Chet Holmes, who was author of The Ultimate Sales Machine and is one of the greatest business strategists of all time, to studying regularly the great strategic ideas and teaching of Jay Abraham, who is a pure strategic genius if you don't know who he is. Okay, so understanding strategy has been my secret weapon in the marketplace. And I want to encourage you, never underestimate strategy. So here's the bottom line on strategy. If your strategy isn't leading your business tactics, you're already dead in the water. And that's most online business owners. And that leads me to number 5. The 5th thing that you want in a great business coach is that your coach must have deep respect and proven wisdom to teach, to lead, and to mentor you on the concepts and strategies that the role of your inner game plays in the success game. Gotta have it. Now, what I've discovered over my 17 plus years of entrepreneurship is that either business coaches think the mindset and the inner game stuff is soft and shallow, not the real stuff that matters when it comes to making money, while others just don't have the expertise to guide you through the field of landmines that exist in your mind. And so what do? They just avoid it. They have respect for it. They believe in it, but they just don't know how to teach it. So they just avoid it. And they revert back to teaching you the latest and greatest tactics. Okay, so just talk to any high-performance athlete, and they will tell you that playing the game is at least 80% mindset. Okay, just ask yourself, how does Tom Brady, how does he step onto a football field on a Sunday and completely dominate the competition, making it look effortless? And then on rare occasion, how does Tom Brady just look average? Doesn't happen a lot, but every once in a while it happens. Why does this happen? It has nothing to do with the skills or the tactics. It has nothing to do with that. Tom Brady did or did not pick up a new tactic during the previous week of practice that made him great. Okay? It has to do with Tom Brady's inner game. So I left this as my last of the 5 points, this inner game message as the last of my 5 points, to make it clear to you that you can have the best business strategy and tactics in the world. But at the end of the day, what matters is who is applying the strategy and the tactics that matters most. Okay? That's what matters most. It's who's applying the strategy and the tactics. And guess who that is? That's you. That's you. Results in your outer game will never outpace the results of your inner game. Okay? It doesn't happen the other way around. So how do you really address your inner game at an extraordinary level? Okay, well, for one, you stay plugged in here to the extraordinary game of entrepreneurship and how to play it. Okay, so good on you for doing that. Okay, congratulations. You've got that box checked. Okay, number 2, you want to be in the trenches of your business with someone who is really fighting for you. And with someone who's with you on the frontier of your mind that is your inner game. Okay? You want to find a business coach that's in the trenches with you. Okay, now there are business coaches out there who are great. They're great. They have a great command of their expertise. But what they're going to do is they're just going to coach you during a 30-minute, maybe 1-hour session if you're lucky on a weekly basis. And they're going to charge you a high dollar to do it. It's a very common model that's out in the industry. You've probably seen it. Okay? There are also business coaches who will actually be in business with you. Okay? This is how I operate. I get into business with the students that I coach. Fighting alongside you, facing the same challenges that you are facing, and bringing their full capacity for tactics, for strategy, and for inner game into your business. And I believe that's the business coach that you want to align with. I mean, it makes sense when you think about it. If you're just in a typical coaching program, and that's all you're doing, right? And you're going week to week with the coach, and then getting off your call, that coach is not thinking about your business as much as you'd want them to, right? So when you're in business with your coach, who has all of the qualities we've discussed, that coach is thinking about your business 24/7 because your business is their business. And that's going to be the ultimate situation for you to get into, to go out into the marketplace and achieve extraordinary results. Okay, it's the fastest, most surefire, fail-proof path to success. Okay, so getting this one decision wrong, about who to work with as your business coach, it can leave you stranded in the wilderness, and it can leave you directionless for years. So if that's how you feel right now, and I got to tell you, this used to be me. I was directionless for years because I hadn't aligned with the right business coach. When I aligned with the right business coach in my first year doing that, $183,000 of into my business, my first year, and now I'm doing multiple six figures a month. Okay, so don't take that risk in your business. Be wise with who you align with. It's one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. Okay, that leads me to the second and the final reason online business owners fail, and it's because they don't take action on what they learn, which means they don't value wisdom. Gamers, I'm encouraging you to value the wisdom that I've just given you, because to know and not to do is not to know. I got to tell you, this stuff matters, but it can only work for you if you take action. So here's your action step. I want to encourage you to find a business coach who meets all 5 of the criteria I just shared with you. Okay, this is the most important decision you'll make in your business all year. There is quite literally nothing else you are doing right now. I guarantee you there is nothing else you're doing right now in your business that matters more. So if you're aligned with the wrong business coach, or if you don't have a business coach, then getting that fixed is priority number 1. I wouldn't do anything else. I wouldn't work on anything else or think about anything else until you get this very grave problem fixed inside your business. Remember, to know and not to do is not to know. So get out there, gamers, and take action. This stuff really does matter. And those are my thoughts for today. Hey, I want to encourage you to leave your comments below this video. Make sure to like this video and then share it with somebody who you know is ready to play the game of life at extraordinary levels. And on that note, go out there today, gamers. Be extraordinary in your thinking. And I will see you right back here tomorrow for training day 34. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to the extraordinary game of entrepreneurship and how to play it. And remember, gamers, if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. So get out of your phone booth and go share your extraordinary with the world.